notes here. Change my screen. All right, as always, I always want to make sure that I open up and give everybody the opportunity to ask any questions. If there's any questions, we are continuing on the topic of database. We're going to go ahead and just continue to add value. For those of you that attended yesterday's class, I do appreciate that. I'll do a quick little shout out in regards to today we're going to be holding another class. Okay, so we're going to be going back to back to back. So today we're going to be doing Stump the Coach. What's Stump the Coach? Again, I'm going to handle all of your objections. I want you to bring them to me. Today's at 12 o'clock. It's going to be the exact same Zoom ID. So I'm going to encourage you, bring every single last objection that you're dealing with, and we're going to go ahead and address them. I want to make sure that I do continue to equip you all with the opportunity and the ability to be able to respond to I'm going to wait until the market crashes. I'm going to wait until the prices come down. I'm going to wait until until the interest rates get better. I'm going to wait for whatever random reason. I'm going to give you every single last, every single last opportunity so that we can, of course, continue to work on our skill set. Again, that's going to be today at 12 o'clock, Stump the Coach. And let's continue to grow. So let's work on database mastery. And as usual, those of you that are over on YouTube, Instagram, and of course, those of you that are over on Facebook, I'm going to encourage you to come over to Zoom as I'm going to be sharing scripts and I'm going to be sharing visuals and all that other good stuff. So let me throw it back to the audience. Any questions, any comments, any concerns, anything that we can address today? Go ahead and pull up my notes. All right, so we've been talking about, I know that there was a question that was asked yesterday at 12 o'clock's class about what the breakdown looks like, the menu of topics. I left you all with the homework of creating a menu of topics. Now, I want to make sure that we understand the purpose of this is nothing more than to be able to create value with your people, okay? Because there's nothing worse than calling your friends, your family, your past clients, your everybody's, and not having anything to tell them other than, hey, what's going on? How are you doing? Great. Well, I'm here to see if, I don't know, if I can be of any help with any real estate questions. No? Okay, great. I'll call you back in 3 months and I'll bug you again. Okay, I know it's going to feel weird, but hey, I'll call you again in 3 months. No, we don't do that. What we do is we create value. And the way we create value is we have a topic, a menu of topic, and that menu of topic is going to help us with the ability to communicate at a stronger level. Now let's talk about what some of those items are. This is where I do need a little bit of participation. For those of you guys that are over on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, feel free to go ahead and type those in. For those of you that are here on Zoom, you're welcome to, of course, type them in. But let's vocalize some of them because we do have a decent audience here on Zoom. So yesterday I asked about some menu of topics. What are some things that we can talk to our past clients, our family, our friends, and our associates and be able to create value? What are some of those things?
Loan programs.
One more time.
Loan programs.
Loan programs. Awesome. What else?
Interest rates.
Yeah, absolutely. So interest rates. What else? What else? Keep them coming.
Projects that are coming into the area, like, I don't know, a new airport, a new mall, a new housing development.
Yeah.
New stadium.
Yep. Anything that's going to be with what I would consider to be a community project. What's a community project? Going back to with what Declan was mentioning, it's going to be things along the line of, let's say, for example, a new airport or a new mall or a new stadium. Anything that's going to be an economic, impact in that area. Okay, so something that's going to be, of course, impactful in that area. What are some other things?
I put it in a ChatGPT. So for my mountain house, it says is mountain house market trends, how to know if you've outgrown or undergrown your house, what buyers want in mountain house right now. And then for my seniors and active adult, ChatGPT was saying how to downsize without stress, and how to sell a family home without feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah, absolutely. So talking a little bit about downsizing. Okay, so downsizing is important. Anything that has to do with a particular community can definitely be helpful. So those are some things that I want to make sure that we are continuing on. How about some quarterly updates? How about a yearly update? How about a vendor's list? Okay, now what am I talking about as far as a vendors list is concerned? I'm talking about when you call people, you're going to come from a couple of different directions. Okay, I go and call Shelly, and I know that Shelly has a baking company. Okay, and she sells baked goods. And I give Shelly a call. Shelly, hey, it's Robert, your realtor. Just wanted to give you a quick little update. What's going on with the real estate market? Do you have a few minutes? Yeah, hey, what's up, Rob? What's going on? Well, hey, actually, I'm doing something a little bit different. What I want to do is I want to compose a list of all of my favorite lenders, and with you being, of course, my favorite baker. Is it okay if I promote your business? Where should I send people to? What's the favorite handles? All this other stuff. Okay. Then I call Declan, and I know that Declan is a cop. Okay. And he has absolutely no service of wanting to offer more policing services. And his wife is a nurse. She's not wanting to offer any more services. So then what do I do with them? What I do with them is I do the exact same opening, and then I just go in the direction of Declan. I know that you, well, let me back up. Declan, I'm actually creating a list of all of my preferred vendors. And the reason I'm calling you is I wanted to see if you were in need of any vendors, such as, a roofer, a plumber, a baker, a taco person, a caterer, and anything. And now what I'm doing is I'm creating that value. What I'm also going to do, Declan, is I'm compiling this list as I'm going through all of my past clients, family, friends, and of course, great associates. Once I compile this list of my VIPs, I'm going to go ahead and get this sent over to you guys. And now, here's what I don't want you to do, especially on the vendor list. So this is important. What I don't want you to do in this case, I don't want Declan to say, oh, yeah, you know what? My buddy, he has a catering business. Well, I don't want it. I don't want that. I don't need that. I'm going to promote my front line. Okay. I don't need a buddy of a buddy of a buddy because I don't need 19 caterers when it's all said and done. Okay. And I'm devaluing Joe's catering services, which is one of only 2 caterers in all of my database. You're looking for just your front line. Does that make sense? Okay, that's an example. What's the quarterly update? The quarterly update is where I just want to give you a quick little update what's going on with the real estate market. This last quarter, okay, from January 1st through March 30th, we had a 2.3% increase. It's not really a whole lot, but a property, for example, in your neighborhood, Aqua, going for around $800,000. Believe it or not, just in the 3 months, you've gained about $20,000 in value. My question to you is, who do you know that needs this information, looking to buy, sell, or even invest? Okay. Yearly update, the exact same thing. Now it's over the course of a year. Raquel, hey, it's Robert, your realtor, just giving you a quick little update what's going on with the real estate market. Just want to give you a quick little update what happened last year from January 1st all the way through December 31st. We had an 8.6% increase. A property like yours for about $500,000 in your neighborhood. Believe it or not, over the course of the entire year, you've gained about almost $50,000. My question to you is, who do you know that is needing this information, looking to buy, sell, or even invest? How about the benefits of a trust? Okay. This is where I do sometimes isolate, okay, and I'm not trying to say this from a disrespectful manner to anyone, but this is unfortunate that it's very common with me being Latino, that a lot of Latinos actually don't know what a trust is. Huh? What is that? What's the benefit of a trust? Do you have a trust attorney? Are you building value from that direction? Okay. And or for that matter, it's not so much of a race specific. I'm not trying to necessarily be racist here. I'm just one of those things that I find that 98% of the Latino community doesn't have this. Okay. But that doesn't necessarily mean that my Asians, my blacks, my whites, my everybody else's don't have this issue either. My point is you're going to pick a topic and you're going to create that value. You guys got that? Okay. Now, I'm going to share a visual. And again, this is the part where I need those of you that are over on Instagram, those of you that are over on YouTube and Facebook to come join us, because I'm going to share that visual now. Okay. Raquel asked a question yesterday in regards to the organization of this. I'm also going to go into the depthness and the simplicity of this. So I'm going to share an Excel spreadsheet with everyone. And some of you have already seen this numerous times. Now, in this Excel spreadsheet, this is where we put our menu of topics. Okay. Now, I'm using the different color codes. So for those of you that are analytical, I'm sure you appreciate this. Okay. And the purpose of this is just simply nothing more than picking one topic and calling 100% of my people on that one topic. What I don't want to do is I don't want to sit there and call Declan and give him a quarterly update. Call Shelly, give her an update in regards to creating the vendor list. Call Aqua and talk to her about the loan programs. I don't want to do that. What I want to do is I'm going to call everybody about a quarterly update. 100%. So it is important that in your topics, you don't make them very specific. Okay. Don't make them very specific. You want them to be broad enough to where it can be applicable to everybody. Okay. Now, it's not going to ever be 100%, okay? Because as an example, talking about the benefits of an investment or investors, and you go and talk to your niece who's 20 years old, well, she's not looking to invest. But there is, of course, the benefit of that, and the benefit is, who do you know? Okay. Well, wait a minute. My niece works at Jack in the Box. I mean, she's literally making like $800 a month. She can't even afford rent or a room, right? So in that, it's okay, perfectly fine. We're not necessarily going after, in this case, our niece. I'm going after everybody else. You guys got that? Okay. Any questions, comments, concerns, observations, anything of anything that I can address? Let's talk about tracking now. Let's continue moving on. As far as the tracking is concerned, the tracking that we're going to be doing, as I mentioned, it's going to be very, very simple. As a coach, I want to be able to see the difference between, Okay, again, those of you that are over on Instagram, YouTube, I'm sharing visuals. I'm going to encourage you to come join us. You don't have to show your face. I'd encourage you to show your face, but if you don't, that's okay. So in this is painting a picture for me. Okay, and the painting of this picture for me, what this is basically telling me is that everything with one X is one attempt. Everything with two X's is two attempts. Everything with a date next to it is a completion. I completed the conversation with that person. You guys got that? It's that simple. Now let me further the visual in this. Again, for those of you, nice. All right, sorry, my something or other just went down. All right, well, anyways, whatever. My Instagram just unfortunately just stopped. But anyways, let's go ahead and continue and move forward. So the furthering of the visual, since I have everybody here, I'm gonna go ahead and block this out. Okay, why am I gonna block this out? Because I don't wanna pay any attention to any of this, because the only thing I'm doing right now is giving everybody a call in regards to the quarterly updates. Okay, that's the only thing that I'm doing right there. Once I've exhausted this, I've called everybody, everyone's been called. Now everybody, just to make sure we're on the same page, everybody has to have a date. 100% of everybody before you move on. Once you do, let's say I did, again, I know the dates aren't there, but let's just say I did. I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. I'm now gonna move on to the next topic. And the next topic in this case is the vendor list. So now I call everybody on the topic of the vendor list. You guys see that? Now I know that it's very basic and some of you guys are like, okay, whatever, this is like so basic. But believe it or not, 9 out of 10 of my coaching clients have a challenge with this. What ends up happening? They call 50% of the people and then they move on. That's not what I'm asking of people to do. You got to call 100%, try 3 times, speak to and or leave 3 voicemails, then move on. We do not move on until we've exhausted 100% of that. Now, what I'm also going to do, okay, is I'm going to go here, and let's say, for example, I have 116 people. I'm going to put a little marker, and this marker, as an example, is going to be right there. And what this is telling me in this case is this is the last person on my list. Joe Schmo. Okay. Now the purpose of this is to add on. Every quarter, let's say for example, now I'm putting on here, I'll just put a random day of, let's just say we're on track, 6:30. So in here, I have this person, this person, this person, this person, this person. So what this is telling me from the beginning of the quarter to the end of the quarter, I've added these people. Now obviously multiply that times 3, 4, or 5. That now gives me the opportunity to have a measuring point. Now June 30 comes, I've completed, I've exhausted everybody. I'm gonna move this line now again. I'm gonna reset this one. And I'm gonna start all over again, except for this time. My goal is to complete this by 9:30. So then again, I go through, I add this person, this person, this person, this person, this person, this person. You guys got that? Are we on the same page? I know it sounds very basic, okay? This is very ABC. I understand that I'm speaking in a very, very, ABC manner, but I want to make sure that I break it down as finite as I possibly can. Questions, comments, concerns before I simply move on?
Just one clarification, make sure I'm understanding it, Robert. So everybody I'm gonna put on the spreadsheet for the first quarter, I'm gonna call all them 3 times and then put a completion date. Then the next, if I meet anybody during the first quarter, I'm gonna add them to the second quarter.
No. So let me back this up. Okay, so we have this person, and let's just say that this is, I don't know, times 10. Okay, and as I'm going through, I'm calling these people. Okay, 1x, 2x, that's 1 attempt. That's 2 attempts. I spoke to this person. Spoke to this person. Then, there we go. Then the next day, I'm going to move on. Same thing. Oops. So this is the very, very next day. Then I move on. Okay, and then at the end of the quarter, I'm completely exhausted. Everybody's been called. Has received at least 3 voicemails, or 3 voicemails, or I've spoken to them. Okay, so now I'm done. I'm done with the list. No more. I've exhausted the list. I've called 100% of the people. I've spoken to 900 of my people. I'm now going to move on to the vendor list. So now I'm going to call the vendor list, and I'm going to continue to move on that vendor list, and only the vendor list, nothing else, just the vendor list. Are we on the same page?
Yes, so after I exhaust calling everybody the quarterly, I'm going to start the next quarter with the vendor list. Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the only other thing that I'm going to say is just for marker purposes, again, as I mentioned in the previous, just to go back to there and further the what I mentioned. Okay, so now from the previous quarter, I've added these people. And then I've moved on. This is now the next quarter. Okay, so this is telling me right here, I am brand new. Today is now July 1st. I'm now making my rounds. I'm making my calls. I'm talking to everybody about my vendor list. And little by little, I add this person in this week. I add this next person in the next week after that. I close a deal. I add that past client. Continuing to move on while I'm doing all my markings. We got it? Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. So I do apologize for those of you that I did lose over on Instagram. So sorry about that. Don't know exactly what happened, but let's go ahead and move this thing forward. And if there's any other questions, feel free to go ahead and ask away. Okay, now let's go ahead and go back to the script. I want to share the script with everybody. So let me go ahead and stop share here. Okay, so here we go. We're going to role play. We got to keep working on our skills. Here's our role play. Now in our role play, there we go. Okay, so we can of course all see the script. So let me get a volunteer. Who wants to role play with me?
I'll do it.
Okay, Aqua, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So pick a topic and I'll show you exactly how to use it.
Interest rates.
Interest rates. All right, so here we go. Remember, with the interest rates, whether they're up, they're down, they're sideways, it doesn't matter. We're going to create some version of value. Now we can pick from one of two different places. So today, what's today's interest rate? Anybody know on average, on par?
Maybe 6.7.
Okay, so 6.7. Okay, now is that up or down from 2 years ago?
I'm
Up.
guessing probably up.
Okay, so it's up. Now, is it up or down from about the beginning of the year?
I think it's slightly down.
Okay, so slightly down. So I can go in the direction of 2 years ago, okay, and or we can talk about from the beginning of the year. Okay, so let's just go as an example, and we can kind of do it from a couple of different perspectives. But let's role play so that I can show you and you know, instead of just tell you. So here we go. All right, Aqua. So here we go. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Aqua. Hey, it's Robert, your realtor. How are you doing?
Oh, good, Robert. How are you?
Good. I'm doing well. Thank you so much. I want to see if I can borrow you for a few minutes and just give you a quick update on what's going on with real estate.
Yeah, sure. What's going on?
Awesome. I'm going to be very brief. I know you're a very, very busy woman, so let me get right to the point. Okay. What I'm doing is basically giving everyone an update in regards to the interest rates. Do you know what's going on with the interest rates, by the way?
Oh, yeah. They're just very high at the present time, right?
Yeah, they are. They've definitely have gone up. And here's the worst part about this, Aqua, is that there are whispers and rumors that there is a possibility that they're going to start to trickle up and get into the sevens. And who knows if we might even get to the eights. I don't know 100%. We never can predict this. Okay. However, my question to you is, who do you know that is needing this info, that's thinking of buying, selling, or investing before the interest rates go back up?
Everybody I talk to are complaining about how high the interest rates, and that's kind of stopping them from selling, or I'm sorry, buying at the present time.
Yeah, and it is important for those people that are thinking about and tinkering on the idea that they do act now, because instead of being in a position where they're looking at a 6.5, 6.6, or even a 6.7% interest rates, we could potentially get into the seven and a halves. And at that point in time, obviously, it's going to be a lot more expensive. Okay, so who do you know that has been kind of toying with the idea, been on the fence, possibly maybe that would be of interest in purchasing if the interest rate was a little bit better?
My neighbor had mentioned that she was thinking of, she wanted to sell in order to buy something. She was upgrading.
Got it. Okay. So then I can go in that direction. Okay. That's a direction that I can go to. Or I can go in a complete opposite direction. And the complete opposite direction is that, hey, the interest rates are getting better. They're getting stronger. Okay. Who do you know of that wants to capitalize on this as the interest rates are trickling down? So let me give you that example. Here we go. From the top. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Aqua. Hey, it's Robert, your realtor. How are you doing?
Good. How are you, Robert?
Good, good. I'm doing well. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Just wanted to check in with you, give you a quick little update what's going on with the real estate market. Do you have a few minutes for me?
Yeah, sure. What's up?
Awesome. Hey, I got some great news. So have you heard what's going on with the interest rate?
Yes, they're out of control. They've
Yeah.
gotten pretty high now these
Yeah.
days, huh?
Yeah, they definitely have. But I don't know if you know this. Do you remember what was going on with the interest rates back in about January?
No.
We were right around 7.1, 7.2. And yes, they're still high. We're about 6.7. But believe it or not, it's been really trickling in a downward direction, especially the last few weeks. And there are whispers and there are possibilities of this interest rates getting into the low sixes. And who knows, maybe even in the fives. And I want to make sure I get this information out to everybody. Who do you know of that is needing this information, thinking about buying, selling, or for that matter, investing? We can stop right there.
Oh,
Okay, we can stop right there. Do you guys see what I did?
yeah.
'Cause I can
Yeah.
spin it in any direction. So it doesn't matter whether it's a good market or a bad market. Okay, the interest rates are going up. Hey, gotta act now. Okay, there is a sale by the end of the month. Gotta act now. Or the other way around. Hey, look, the interest rates are getting better. We want to get the word out. Who do you know of? So it doesn't matter whether the market is up, the market's down. There is always a way to put it in a positive direction.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let me get somebody else to role play. Thank you, Aqua. I appreciate you. Who else? Anybody? Come on. Let's go. Let me
I
get.
will. I will, Robert.
All right, go for it. I appreciate it, Raquel. So pick a topic first.
Let's talk about loan programs.
Loan programs. All right. So every state has a little bit of a different loan program. Probably in California right now, there's a couple of different loan programs that we can use. One of them, let's just use as an example, the 100% loan program. Okay.
Okay.
So here we go. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Raquel.
Yes.
Hey, it's Robert, your realtor. How are you doing?
Hey, Robert, I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, good. I just wanted to give you a quick little update. What's going on with the real estate market? Can I borrow you for a few minutes?
Sure.
Awesome. I appreciate you. I know that you're a very busy woman. And the reason I'm reaching out to you is I want to give you that quick little update. What I'm sharing with everyone is in regards to a loan program. It's called the ABC loan program. Have you heard about it?
Not really. Can you tell me about it?
For sure. Yeah, it's a great program. And the ABC program, what that basically entails is that there is 100% financing available to all buyers right now. The only minimum requirement is a FICO score of 580. Okay, which is awesome because especially with the market being a little bit softer right now, we can get a lot of sellers to cover the closing costs, and people can come in with as very little as $2,000 to $5,000 down. Raquel, my question to you is, who do you know that wants to take advantage of this, that's thinking about buying, selling, or heck, even looking to invest at this point?
Mm.
Okay, we
You
can
know,
we can
my-
stop.
my
We can
sis-
stop. I
my
appreciate it.
sister.
Yeah, we can stop right
But
there. Okay, thank you so much.
okay.
No, you're good. I appreciate it. Okay, but what I'm doing is I want to make sure that I do share with everybody in regards to the opening. What's something that anybody can share with me that they notice and with what I did? Anybody? We got 2.5 minutes left.
You asked for pretty much a referral, not asking, when do you plan on moving or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And right out the gate is who do they know? Because I want to be able to exhaust all of the people that they know. And of course, in this case, I am going to finish off with, hey, Sean, I know it's been 2 years that you've been in your property. By the way, when are you guys thinking about making that move? I'm not going to ask that question every time because it does get redundant. Okay. But I will ask it once or maybe twice a year. Okay. Hey, I know that you guys were toying with the idea. I know that you mentioned now that the boys are in, they're teenagers now. I know you were talking something about getting a little bit of a bigger home because you just don't have as much space for the dogs. I see that you guys got now a third dog. Oh my goodness. Beautiful dog, by the way. So when are you guys thinking about doing that? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. What else did you guys notice? Come on.
Is there mirroring going on?
One more time, Declan.
Mirroring.
Yeah, mirroring for sure. Okay. Now, the other thing I want you guys to, because I feel like I'm kind of pulling a little bit here from you guys, but how about just the simplicity of energy and enthusiasm? Those of you guys that know me on a personal level, I have almost no energy. Okay. And or for that matter, any enthusiasm. I'm kind of a boring vanilla dude in most cases. Okay. Not always, but in most cases. I'm usually the guy in the corner on his phone and I'm perfectly fine being on my own and doing my own thing. But I have to have high levels of energy, enthusiasm. The other thing too is if you'll notice, it doesn't matter. Aqua's probably sitting there doing absolutely nothing. She's eating bonbons, watching her soap opera and absolutely doing nothing. But I want to make sure that I'm sitting there talking about, hey, you know what? I know you're a very busy woman. Yeah, that's right. I got dishes to wash, and I'm not obviously trying to be chauvinistic here, but depending on who I'm talking about. Oh yeah, I'm busy. Everybody's busy. Okay, yeah, let's keep this brief. Because I don't want to talk to them forever either. Declan?
Yeah, the energy level could be just standing up, and I mean standing up and smiling are just two small things you can do, but it makes a little bit of difference.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. The other thing too, besides the standing up and having the high energy enthusiasm, is that you'll notice that I have a very particular speaking pattern. I will emphasize on the things that I need to emphasize, and I'll speed through the things that are not of much value. Okay. And I have a very particular way of doing that. And this is something that's a little bit on the mastery side. Let me give you a quick little example because some of you guys just went over your head. And again, I'll only go about maybe a minute over. Okay. So I go through, hi, Aqua, hey, it's Robert, your realtor. The reason I was calling is I wanted to see if I can borrow you for a few minutes. The reason I was calling is because I just wanted to see if I could borrow you for a few minutes. Okay. Well, what I'm sharing with everyone is I want to give them a quick little update what's going on with the real estate market, specifically regarding the interest rates. Okay, so it's going to be speed up, slow down, pause, and even some of the extended pauses, just like right there, because I'm talking at a very, very fast pace, and then all of a sudden I go, see what I'm saying? And literally just that 1 second pause in the pace that I'm going seems like 5 seconds. Like, huh? What? That is what is called a pattern interrupt. Okay. Last question, comment, concern before I let everybody go.
Robert, I got a quick question, a little off topic, but asking for referrals with current clients. How often, and what's too much?
Oof, that's a loaded question. So I'm going to give you the very brief one. This is going to go overboard because this is important. Okay. When do we start to ask for referrals? The minute that they sign the contract, not after, not at the end, not wait, not put them in 90 days after you give them the keys, immediately. So as soon as you sign the contract, Sean, thank you so much for hiring me. I'm really excited about getting your home on the market and getting it sold. I'm going to have my assistant reach out to you, and we're going to go ahead and get the photographer lined up. Hey, by the way, who else do you know of that is in the market looking to buy, sell, or even for looking to invest? No, when you can't think of anybody, no worries. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check back with you on Wednesday. I'm going to give you your weekly update. I'm going to call you between 12 and 2. Okay, and then we could talk then. All right, any questions? Nope, awesome. I'll talk to you then. Sean, hey, it's Robert, your realtor. Hey, I just want to give you a quick little update to what's going on with your property. We've only been on the market for 5 days, and in the 5 days, we have 4 showings. We got 3 feedback, 2 said this, 1 said this other stuff. Hey, by the way, who do you know of that is in the market looking to buy, sell, or even invest? No one? Hey, next week when I call you, is there any chance I can count on you to maybe find somebody that is that's thinking about buying, selling, or even investing? I won't do this with an expired. I won't do this with a FSBO, but I will do it with a cousin, a friend, a past client, anybody that is a little bit closer to my immediate circle. If they're already in my database, for sure. Okay. Very good question. All right, everybody. I did go over by a couple of minutes, so let's go ahead and get on the phones. Let's go make it happen. Thank you guys for attending today, 12 o'clock Pacific time. Stump the coach. Okay. You got to bring the objections. This is an interactive class. The last few, I got like 2 objections. Okay. I can cover that over 30 minutes, but I need more objections. I need to know what you guys got going on, what you guys are dealing with. That's what I'm here for. 12 o'clock Pacific Standard. I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys then. Go take a listing or 5. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for attending.